So NetEase deleted, or they have copyrighted, various bits of content and things. Of course, look, leaking's leaking. You either don't like it, you like it. People thrust it into the public domain. It is what it is. Look, make your decisions about whether or not you like it or you don't. But what we're going to do is revisit this. If you remember, whilst I was in Norway, I didn't have the greatest means to kind of make videos, but at least we got time to cover this before NetEase took it down, and that was the skin. So I think this is one of very few pieces of videos content that actually showcases this in all its glory, including the kind of the skins that you see on screen. They're very much MCU inspired, which we went over in the video, but as I said, NetEase have now taken down this, so this is one of very few places you can actually find these particular images, especially because we have Namor there. We have this character. This is a bit of a mystery character that does have some kind of bearing on the game, whether or not it's going to be story content. Yeah, that's really going to be it. There's more to it than meets the eye with this particular character. We've also got, now I'm not sure who this is. I'm looking at it going like, this looks Doctor Strange's, so maybe another version of Doctor Strange. Could be like a Star-Lord from the future, but it looks, I don't know, more menacing and more kind of like it looks more Doctor Strange's than anything, but could be wrong with that there. Rocket, this is more of a Guardians of the Galaxy 3 version, I think it is. With it very cartoonized. In my opinion, like the more that we looked at this, the more I'm kind of getting the vibes of like World of Warcraft with it. This is of course Doctor Strange 100%, so maybe I'm wrong with the previous one, although the shoulders are a bit of a giveaway. Again, we've got very much kind of World of Warcraft themes with it. People, you know, I've seen plenty of people go like, oh, this is quite clearly Overwatch, but this is very quite clearly World of Warcraft in an appearance. You've got here Doctor Strange from the Multiverse of Madness, the Zombie Strange, which is pretty menacing. I don't know if I like this one. I guess it's down to animations. I absolutely love animations on Marvel characters in Marvel games, so just be interesting to see what's there. There's a very compromising sword right there for Magik. I'm pretty certain this is Magik. I mean, the sword's a dead giveaway. Oh, and just for reference, this is actually taken from comic book source. We'll try and do that for the rest of the video. Just gonna like grab some kind of like cool sourcing. But yeah, it looks like it's definitely like a comic book sourced version, except for some slight changes to it. Less MCU on this one though. Also had a quick look back at that Doctor Strange costume, and I'm just not finding any reference. This might be in like a very kind of like short-lived like comic book arc, or it's just something that NetEase put together themselves. This version of Iron Man is quite clearly Superior Iron Man, which looks a little like this, which you can see, like it's just a like for that one. It does have some MCU inspired elements to it, but it's pretty much that. And from a quick bit of research, it does look like this version of Black Panther is the one that the game are drawing reference from when it comes to this one. This kind of like 1 million BC, kind of Odin and the first Black Panther fighting together type story arc. So, yep. Cool. I couldn't find a 100% match on the reference, especially looking at some other comic book cover art as well as costumes. But this version of Hela, of course, is a little bit different than the other one. That, I don't know, I'm just not vibing with it, but I don't know, thoughts in the comments. Now this is a pretty weird SpiderMan based skin, especially considering that this is Bombastic Bagman, which I think I forgot to mention, and who is a SpiderMan based, well, version in some respects. There's a lot to it that meets the eye with this. So from a bit of a search, I cannot find any reference to this particular Spider-Man costume, so guesses and answers on a postcard. If you know, put it in the comments, but it looks like some kind of, I don't know, ninja based outfit. Even though this is not completely the same, I feel this is where NetEase are drawing reference from when they put in this version of Magneto. Mainly as it's kind of this imperial or imperious style of a leader, a great war general, and I think that's what it is. It's kind of a nod to like the House of M type storyline. There's a little kind of like M logo there on Magneto, and this is pretty much, I'm pretty certain this is Magneto. I think in this instance there's been inspiration taken from well, multiple different areas. There's the kind of Romanian gypsy style that's kind of been added to this one, or from the sources. And then it's kind of gone in a different kind of a way with the style. Like there's a few little bits here and there from these images of various costumes that just draw inspiration. So I don't think there's anywhere in particular it's drawn inspiration from. It's just from multiple different areas at the same time. This version of Spider-Man is pretty much the Iron Spider we saw from the MCU, so I don't need to talk more about that one. This version of Iron Man is quite clearly close to that one that was seen in Infinity War. I think more so Infinity War than Endgame, especially right at the end of Infinity War. So that's probably the one there. I can see that one battling out with Thanos. Similar thing mentioned with Scarlet Witch, like it's just drawing inspiration from various areas, but I don't know if this is actually magic, which if it is, it could be one of the various different variants, which all makes perfect sense. This version of Groot is more close to like comic books, so I kind of again get where this one particular is coming from. You could just look any Guardians comic book and find that this is a version that just looks very similar to one in that one. Now, the armor you're going to see in a minute is not so ridiculous, especially as Black Panther has used a high-tech version of an armor to assist in a very daring mission, which you can see this is not exactly the same. It's similar in the sense that it's high-tech and is not like the standard Black Panther vibranium, very kind of cloth-like armor for movement. This is a more kind of rugged, rigid, and strong version that's kind of like more Iron Man-ish. But yes, so that's a little bit more on that one. If you saw the video yesterday, I mentioned about King Groot. This is very much like the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 version of King Groot. Not a huge amount closer to the one in the comic books, but there's definitely times there's been a nod to it. But this one is more like the Guardians 3 movie version, if you've seen that post-credit scene. This is Bruce Banner. This is the Bruce Banner from the Punk universe, because this is the Punk version of, yeah, that's right, of Hulk. Bit more kind of like, again, reference. This is Earth 138, I think it is. Yeah, it's Earth 138, and this is the Punk universe. It's funny because this is gonna be funny when this is put into game. I hope there's animations that go with this that are actually like different, but I don't know if that would be the case. Now, this version of Punisher, I'm going to go with it's being some kind of like exoskeleton version, and it's not exactly the same. It's sort of close, but it's not. So I think this is where the reference might come from. It's just not exactly the same version. I actually don't like this. I would have preferred something like Punisher 2099 version, the classic Punisher look. But instead, we might have this one as a skin to grab. It'll probably be a free one because I haven't paid any money for this. Now, the only image we have of Magneto is this one, and this is more closer to that kind of classic look that we know. We've got the white suit version, which is very much reminiscent of the Marvel Now version. But this one is the one I think a lot of people would want to get because it's classic Magneto with the purple and the kind of maroon. So look, we need this. And that has been the video. Thank you very much for watching and supporting. I hope you enjoyed this because look, those images, they don't exist anywhere. They've been taken off certain sites. Yeah, follow the channel. We're going to be covering some more Marvel Rivals stuff, some interesting things, information, some theories as well. And hopefully we get to play the game soon because I've got withdrawal symptoms and I want to play it. So instead, we're just going to talk about it. We're going to make it into existence, which I think is quite good. So yeah, come back for more. See you in the next one. Bye bye.